Hi friends, good morning room 131. It's time for circle time. Crisscross applesauce, hands in your lap, eyes on your teacher, and listening ears on. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Good morning, and how do you do? Good morning to Isaac. Good morning to Benjamin. Good morning to Ava. Good morning to Emmy. Good morning to Kenton. Good morning to Noah. Good morning to Ethan A. Good morning to Ellie. Good morning to Aurora. Good morning to Frankie. Good morning to Adeline. Good morning to Xander. Good morning to Evangeline. Good morning, Ethan L. Good morning to Nathan. Good morning to Miss Rachel. Good morning, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, and how do you do? How do you do today, friends? Today, since I won't talk to you again until Monday because of the holiday of Passover, we're going to read a story and we're going to review some of the things that we've talked about with Passover. So today, before we read our story, we're going to do our calendar. So first we're going to do our months of the year. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, 12 months of the year. What month is it? September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. This month is April. Today is what? Let's sing our Days of the Week song to see what day it is. Days of the week, days of the week, days of the week, days of the week, days of the week. There's Sunday and there's Monday, there's Tuesday and there's Wednesday, there's Thursday and there's Friday, and then there's Saturday. Days of the week, days of the week, days of the week, days of the week, days of the week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. If today is Wednesday, what comes next? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday would be the next day of our week. So we need to stick the day Thursday up, and usually Miss Rachel has this up before I get on our video, but I didn't today. So today we're going to put up our tomorrow day, which would be Thursday. So tomorrow's Thursday. Now, this morning, when you got up, look outside. What does it look like today? Now, as you can see, my window's open and it's very sunny. So it's very sunny today outside, but it's a little rainy too. So it looks like there's some clouds. So I would say it's still a partly sunny day. It's sun and some clouds. It looks like a little rain. It's definitely the season of spring. The year here is 2020 and the year in Israel is 5780. So it's April, Wednesday, and let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Today is Wednesday, April the 8th, and it's the first night of Passover. So a lot of you are going to have some seders tonight with your family, which will be really cool. So let's review, before we read our story, what we're talking about this week. We're talking about Passover. And the word for Passover in Hebrew is Pesach. Can you say Pesach? Pesach, Passover. We talked about not eating any leaven foods, so we can't eat any foods that have yeast in them, that have been baked with yeast, which means we can't have bagels, we can't have bread, we can't have cookies, we can't have things like pasta. Unless they're special for Passover, we can't eat them. What do we eat instead? Do you remember? Matzah. So we need to get rid of all our hametz that we have in our house, which means all our pastas, everything that's not for Passover, we need to get rid of, clean out our cupboards, and we can only eat things that are made with matzah meal or matzah, fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, things like that. Passover is 8 days long. Passover, 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 8 days long. Passover, 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 sing this happy song. No more bread, matzah instead. Hide it well, nobody tell. Passover, 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 8 days long. Passover, 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 sing this happy song. Matzah ball soup, have a scoop. Matzah bride, give it a try. Passover, 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 8 days long. Passover, 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 sing this happy song. And for all our friends out there, just to let you know that on our YouTube page, on our ECC YouTube page, a lot of teachers have been putting out some really cool videos. You're welcome to look at any of the videos on the page about some really cool things that they've been making for Passover. For example, Miss Danielle and Miss Katie, they put out a video of making haroset, which is really good. So if you want to look out for that one, Miss Pam just put out a video of making matzo ball soup, which looks so yummy too. You can look out for that one. So a lot of friends are going to be, Miss Megan's going to be putting out videos, and I know a lot of teachers are going to be putting out videos of different things that they're making for Passover. So definitely keep an eye out for those because they look really, really good. All right, so we are going to read Sammy Spider's first Passover. And what's this down here? Is that a Passover Seder plate you said? Sure is. And look, we have our Passover Seder plate here. So before we read the story, let's review what's on the Seder plate and why it's on there. So first of all, we have the shank bone. And the shank bone is on there to remind us of all the sacrifices that the Jewish people made when they were slaves in Egypt. All the sacrifices. The next thing we have is the egg. The egg reminds us of new life in the spring season. So Passover falls in the spring, so the egg reminds us of new life that we talked about that happens in the spring. The haroset, the bitter herbs, the maror down here, across from each other, horseradish and the bitter herbs, reminds us of the pain of slavery. It reminds us of the bitterness and the pain that the Jewish people felt when they were slaves in Egypt. The haroset, which is down here, which is a yummy sugary, it has like cinnamon sugar. You can put nuts, but if you're allergic to nuts, definitely no nuts, but you can put apples and grape juice. And it's a sweet, something you can eat on your matzah if you like. Reminds us of the cement or maror, the mortar that they used between the bricks when they made the stones when they made the pyramids. Reminds us of like what is called a cement that hooks the bricks together. And then, of course, we have our matzah, which is over on the side here, that we eat for Passover because the Jewish people did not have time to bake bread when it was time for them to leave Egypt. When King Pharaoh finally let them go and they were allowed to leave Egypt, they didn't have any time to bake bread. So they had to put their dough on their back. And when they put it on their back and they were walking through the hot desert, it got baked on their back into like a hard cracker. So this is why we eat matzah, because we didn't have time to bake bread before we left Egypt. So that is our Seder plate, and you'll see one of those, I'm sure, tonight on your Seder table, and it'll have the different foods on it. Also, what I didn't mention on here, which is on here as well, is the parsley. We dip the parsley in salt water, and the salt water represents the tears that the Jewish people cried when they were slaves in Egypt. So we can't forget about that. That's why we dip our parsley in salt water. Alrighty, so we are going to read Sammy Spider's first Passover. And I'll read the pages and then I'll show you the pictures. This is a book of shapes. So we have the circle, triangle, and a square. Now, remember what we talked about when we were talking about shapes? How many sides? How many sides does a circle have? None. It's a circle. How many sides or corners does a square have? 1, 2, 3. Ahad, shtayim, shalosh. 3 corners, 3 sides. How many corners / sides does a square have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ahad, shtayim, shalosh, arba. 4 corners, 4 sides. Nice job, friends. All right. Sammy Spider was fast asleep in his web, high up on the Shapiro's living room ceiling. As the warm spring sun shone through the open window, Sammy snuggled deeper into his cozy web. A sudden swishing noise startled him awake. "Mother!" he screamed. "A monster has broken our web." Was it a monster? No, it was just Josh using his broom. Sammy scurried across the ceiling and hid in a corner. Mrs. Spider hurried to comfort him. "Don't worry, Sammy. That monster is called a broom, and Mr. Shapiro is using it to dust the ceiling. Each spring, the Shapiros give their house a special cleaning for Passover. Springtime is a perfect time for us to make a new web." So they're cleaning their house for Passover. "I don't know how to make a web," Sammy said sadly. "I'm going to teach you," said his mother, giving him a big hug. "Will we celebrate Passover too?" asked Sammy. "Silly little Sammy," laughed Mrs. Spider. "Spiders don't celebrate Passover. Spiders spin webs. We have to begin by spinning 1 thread. So you got to start by spinning the first thread of webbing. Then we'll spin a second and a third. Finally, we spin a 4th to make a square." But Sammy wasn't listening. "What is Mr. Shapiro putting on the table?" he asked. "It's called matzah." Mrs. Spider replied, "Tonight is the first night of Passover, and the Shapiros will have a special meal called a Seder. Now, a matzah is shaped like a square. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 sides. Ahad, shtayim, shalosh, arba. 4 sides on our matzah. Then Mr. Shapiro brought a big platter with a roasted egg and a bone, parsley, haroset, and bitter herbs. What do you think she brought? We just talked about it. The Seder plate. "That's called a Seder plate," Mrs. Spider exclaimed. "The Shapiros will eat special foods at their Seder." "Do spiders eat special foods for Passover?" asked Sammy. "Silly little Sammy," answered his mother. "Spiders don't celebrate Passover. Spiders spin webs. Spiders eat flies and other insects. To catch them, we need to spin a web, and I need your help. Watch me attach a circle to the inside of our web." So first they made a square, which has 4 corners and 4 sides. What about a circle? None. It has no circles and no sides. I mean, it's a circle. It has no sides. It's just round, like a circle. But Sammy wasn't listening. He was hovering on a silky strand above the table, watching the Shapiros at their Seder. Crunch went the matzah. What did Mr. Shapiro do? He cut the square matzah into 2 triangles. Now, a square has 4 sides and 4 corners. But what does a triangle have? 3 sides and 3 corners. You can take a square and cut it in half and make 2 triangles. 2 triangles make 1 square. That's cool. But Sammy wasn't listening. He was hovering on the silky strand above the table, watching the Shapiros at their Seder. Crunch went the matzah as Mr. Shapiro broke it in half. Sammy watched him wrap 1 piece in a bright red napkin. What do you think he wrapped up? The afikomen. He's going to hide it. Whoever finds it gets a special surprise. When Josh wasn't looking, Mr. Shapiro hid it on top of the bookcase. Sammy climbed back up to the ceiling. "Mother," he asked, "why did Mr. Shapiro hide the matzah?" "It's called the afikomen," Mrs. Spider answered. "After the meal, Josh will try to find it. If he does, he gets a prize." "What fun," Sammy said. "Can I play too?" What do you think? Can he play too? "Silly little Sammy," said his mother. "Spiders don't celebrate Passover. Spiders spin webs. And I really need your help to spin a triangle inside the circle." Look, now they're going to put a triangle. 3 sides. Ahad, Shayim, Shalosh. 3 sides. But Sammy wasn't listening. He looked longingly at the hidden afikoman. "All right," sighed Mrs. Spider. "You may watch the Seder for a while." Sammy quickly crossed the ceiling and stopped right above the bookshelf as Josh finished reciting the 4 questions. He listened as the family sang Passover songs and took turns reading the story of Moses, who led the Jewish people to freedom. The Shapiros began their Seder meal. Sammy had never seen so much food. Look, they're eating salad and chicken. They have their Seder plate over here. Matzo ball soup. Looks really good. Carrots. At last it was time to search for the afikoman. Sammy wished he could help, but he remembered his mother's words. Spiders don't celebrate Passover. Spiders spin webs. Swinging from a strand of webbing, he watched as Josh searched every corner of the room. So Josh was looking all over the place for the afikoman. When Josh neared the bookshelf, Sammy got excited. Something shiny caught Josh's eye. It was an amazing little web with a beautiful Jewish star inside. "Wow," said Josh as he went closer to look. He spotted the afikoman just below the glistening web. "Wow, I found it," he squealed. What did Sammy make over top of the afikoman? Do you see it? A Jewish star. It showed Josh right where the afikoman was. Sammy glowed with pride. "I did it, Mother. I helped Josh find the afikoman." "And you also spun a beautiful web," Mrs. Spider answered. "You used all the shapes I taught you." In his excitement, Sammy didn't even know that he had spun a web. As he looked back at the bookshelf, he beamed. "It was easy, Mother. You make a square, a circle, and a triangle. Then you pass over with another triangle. And that's how spiders celebrate Passover." The end. All right, friends, we're going to sing a couple Passover songs, and then we'll be done. Let's see. Let's start with we sang our Passover song. So we'll do Dayenu. "Ilu Hotzianu, Hotzianu, mi Mitzrayim, Hotzianu, mi Mitzrayim, Dayenu. Dayenu, Dayenu, Dayenu. Dayenu, 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 Dayenu. Inu naten lanu, ahatorah, naten lanu, ahatorah, Dayenu. Dayenu, 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 Dayenu. Dayenu, Dayenu, Dayenu. Hey! Alrighty. Oh, listen, oh, listen, oh, listen, King Pharaoh. Oh, listen, please let my people go. They want to go away. They work too hard all day. King Pharaoh, what do you say? No, 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 I will not let them go. No, 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 I will not let them go. Can you get out your hammers and your tools? Bang, 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 bang your hammers low. Bang, 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 give a heavy blow. For it's work, work, work every day and every night. For it's work, work, work when it's dark and when it's light. Dig, 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 dig your shovels deep. Dig, 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 there's no time to sleep. For it's work, work, work every day and every night. For it's work, work, work when it's dark and when it's light. Let's see, let's go. When Pharaoh awoke in his bed, there were frogs in his bed and frogs on his head. Frogs on his nose and frogs on his toes. Frogs here, frogs there. Frogs were jumping everywhere. At noon, Pharaoh said, "What a mess I am in. There were frogs on my skin and frogs on my chin, frogs in on my knees and frogs in my tea. Frogs here, frogs there, frogs were jumping everywhere." Late afternoon, Pharaoh was ready to cry. There was frogs in his pie and frogs in his eye. Frogs on the land, hiding in the sand. Frogs here, frogs there, frogs were jumping everywhere. I'm a little matzo, flat and square, no time to rise in the desert air. Made of flour and water, just like bread, but hard and crunchy and munchy instead. I'm a little matzo, flat and thin. Open your mouth and put me in. Baked in the desert, in the sun. Pesach is coming, oh what fun. Alrighty, and we'll sing our plague song, and then it'll be time to sing our goodbye song. Then God sent plague number 1, turned the Nile into blood. All the people in Egypt were feeling pretty low. Then they told Pharaoh, "Let them go." Then God sent plague number 2, jumping frogs all over you. All the people in Egypt were feeling pretty low. They told Pharaoh, "Let them go." Then God sent plague number 3, swarms of gnats from head to knee. All the people in Egypt were feeling pretty low. They told Pharaoh, "Let them go." Then God sent plague number 4, filthy flies, need we say more? All the people in Egypt were feeling pretty low. They told Pharaoh, "Let them go." Then God sent plague number 5, all the livestock up and died. All the people in Egypt were feeling pretty low. They told Pharaoh, "Let them go." Then God sent plague number 6, boils and sores till we got sick. All the people in Egypt were feeling pretty low. They told Pharaoh, "Let them go." Then God sent plague number 7, hail and lightning down from heaven. All the people in Egypt were feeling pretty low. They told Pharaoh, "Let them go." Then God sent plague number 8, locusts came in, now they sure ate. All the people in Egypt were feeling pretty low. They told Pharaoh, "Let them go." Then God sent plague number 9, total darkness all the time. All the people in Egypt were feeling pretty low. They told Pharaoh, "Let them go." Then God sent plague number 10, Pharaoh's son left and he gave in. All the people in Egypt were feeling pretty low. But Pharaoh finally said, "Go, go, go." Thank you, friends, for joining me today. We're going to sing our Shalom Haverim song. Shalom Haverim, Shalom Haverim, Shalom, Shalom. Leitzrot, Leitzrot, Shalom, Shalom. Goodbye, my friends, goodbye, my friends, goodbye, goodbye. Till we meet again, till we meet again, goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, friends. Happy Passover, happy Pesach. Don't mind my singing voice. Bye.